Hi everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are you? Like you can respond, but
I
yes,
hope you guys are doing well.
yes,
We're back again.
yes, and yeah. I'm supposed to say my name. Okay, my name
Exactly.
is Mame Dakwamina Dokanyirige. Long name, but you can keep it short. Just call me Mame.
And I'm Petrina Dusay, and this is my babyish sister. Because
We have our mom and aunt laughing in the background, but we'll try to focus.
Okay.
We'll feature you guys in the next one.
Yeah, you guys will be in the next one. So today we're here to talk about family values with specific with specific emphasis on accountability.
Absolutely,
Right.
and I'm sorry. The hard word. I'm sorry.
Why is it
So
so
hard to
hard to
say
say
I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry?
especially in the African context. Hey, I like. I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
When it comes to leadership and hearing I'm sorry, and where does it come from?
Um, well, first I want to ask, when was the last time your parents apologized to you? Or when was the last time you heard a person in power apologize for something that they had done wrong and actually it's pretty clear that they did this thing wrong? When was the last time we heard someone come out and say, I disappointed you guys, I'm sorry. A man or woman of God, a teacher,
President,
so
ministers.
rare,
Yeah.
so rare.
Right.
And my hypothesis is that whenever we are being brought up and we do certain things, right, we hear things like bad boy, bad girl, and so we are. If you can hear dogs in the background, it's our house. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's a neighborhood actually. So ignore that. Anyway, so when a child does something wrong, we hear things like bad boy, bad girl. If they've done something that is bad, it's associated with them as a person. So a child grows up thinking, oh, if I told a lie, I'm a bad boy. If I told a lie, I'm a bad girl, right? And as you grow up, we start to associate certain behaviors with being a bad person. But in some ways, do we believe that we're good people? So when we tell a lie, what happens is that we have to figure out a way to justify that we are not a bad person. Because once we admit that we told a lie or we did this wrong thing, then we are bad people. Another thing that also influences that is how often did we hear our parents apologize? Even when it's glaring that this is something that they've done that's not right. There was always this explanation around it. No, it's because of this, it's because of that. And eventually, if you keep pushing, it's like, hey, you don't respect. Is that how you're talking to your mother? Is that how you're talking to your father? Type of thing. So we learn all of these things. And as we become adults, now how does a grown up say, I lied and not believe that they're a bad person? It's very difficult to admit that.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, like you said, just to build on that, to say that sometimes we see this dynamic play out in very key areas, whether it's in the government or in public institutions, in your company, in the church, and we ask ourselves like, okay, so how do I change these things? I don't have any power, I don't have any influence, but we do have the power to change these things, and everything starts in the family. Sociology shows that the first formation, I mean, the child forming any sense of identity or self or character starts in the home. And so we do have the power to shape it in our families, in our homes, with realizing that, like she said, that when you do wrong, no one is perfect. So when you do wrong, it doesn't mean you are bad, but you made a mistake. And so not attaching shame to making mistakes, because we are bound to make mistakes, to give people the chance to say they are sorry. We saw that happen when Bill Clinton came out to admit the whole Monica Lewinsky thing, and this is rare. We've not seen this even in our society, and so we need to understand how accountability is shapes development, because it actually says that I got it wrong and there's room for me to grow. There's room for me to be better and do better. To not say I'm sorry, to not say I got it wrong, is to say that I'm fine the way I am.
Exactly.
And that is very dangerous. That's where that we are treading along those lines in our continent, in our nation.
You know
And it's
those
not helping.
Instagram videos where it says how an African mother apologizes and then the mother cooks for the child.
Yeah.
Just to avoid.
Yes, I mean the government have stolen so much money, and then because instead of coming to say, "Oh, it's true," when you catch them, we made a mistake. Okay, well, let's build a road for them, right? It doesn't address the problem. The problem is that you stole and you made a mistake, and how can you correct it and be better? And that is really what we want to emphasize as individuals, as families, for our kids, to understand the hierarchy of leadership, that you don't model the accountability by telling them to apologize to each other. You model it by how you treat the partner, how you even show them, by saying that I'm your father, I'm your mother, but I can still come down and say I'm sorry, because saying I'm sorry doesn't mean you're coming down. you're emulating true values
Yeah,
and leadership to your kids. Yeah.
And then kids these days are even sharper than we were. They'll call you out on your stuff. You contradict yourself, they'll call you out on it. And it's important not to say, hey, don't talk to your mother like that. Don't talk to your father like. Do you remember growing up? He'll probably kill us for this if he hears this video. But my dad used to say, when he says something that's not true, he said, hey, daddy, you are lying. He said, don't say you are lying. Say it's not true.
Yeah.
You know, situations like that. So what we're here to do is to encourage young people, young adults, and even if they're older people who hear us, right, to understand that if you do something wrong, you're not a bad person, right? You had a lapse in judgment, you had a moment, a character flaw in the moment. You can improve on that. Saying sorry, acknowledging that you've done something wrong, teaches, as Mami said, teaches your children to emulate that. It doesn't mean you are a bad person, but how can we begin to start practicing accountability? We want to see it up there. And Mami, you were saying something very important about wanting to see our leaders do it and thinking that we can't be part of the solution. How do we fix what's going on up there? But these leaders come from a home. Remember you were saying that?
Yeah, and there were once citizens like us who were also frustrated with bad leadership and said, if I come, I'll do it better. But that's a funny thing about the human nature, right? That sometimes we don't even know what is in us till we are placed in places of power. So all we are just really trying to say, even with our video, is that everybody has the power to shape the future. Even if you cannot shape right now, you can shape tomorrow by what you're doing now, you know, in your homes, right? And whether it's the saying, we are focusing on accountability today, but any value that you were expecting to see in the community, believe me, it started somewhere. And the family is so powerful because the foundation of the nation. And we're hoping to see a better tomorrow for, you know, our children and children's children. Why don't we just start now? We have the power to do that.
Mami for president.
Okay, no, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, thank you. So yeah, I mean, so that's what I want to leave you with.
Okay, thank you for listening. We hope that someone will be challenged to do something differently in their lives right now. It's not for you to point fingers and say, oh, this person does that. But how can you challenge yourself? How can you learn to say, I'm sorry, and start to take accountability? What was that for? What was that look for?
Auntie coughed. My aunt coughed, so we thought we didn't hear. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.